Over the last 4 years, our mandate under PTCIJ has evolved beyond the parameters of investigative journalism to include thought leadership, innovation, and technology across the continent. The Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development is a media innovation and development think and do tank. Our vision now expands across West Africa to develop a truly independent media landscape that advances fundamental human rights, good governance, and accountability. CEO and the Executive Director will now speak on why this change was necessary and why we are now CJID.
The best way to understand the story of the Premium Times Center for Investigative Journalism, which has now transited a little bit programmatically, but certainly in name, to the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, is to look back to those conditions that were in place at the emergence of Premium Times newspaper itself, which, as we all know, was the founding organization of the PTCIJ. Premium Times, of course, 210 came in to try to address questions of trust in the newspaper industry, and also at the other side, the whole question of an atrophy of revenue, which had become a major issue for the broad media landscape. The idea then in 2014 was that we needed an entity that will help then address those issues at an exponential level, which Premium Times itself had come to address in 2011 when it emerged. So I will say that then, if one then looks at it in those historical dimensions, PTCIJ emerged first and foremost to try to address some of the distortions that had made professional journalism kind of a nightmare. And then secondly, to see whether we could innovate on some of those encumbrances that made it impossible for the news media to truly respond to its statutory and, I would say, philosophical callings.
I'm Toby Luatola, Executive Director at the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, CJID. At CJID, our mission is to strengthen the media enterprise in West Africa to do its job better in setting the agenda for democracy and development, being an effective watchdog for democracy, and bringing together people of diverse views and opinions to debate what democracy and development really ought to be like and ought to do. And we're doing this by strengthening media in the areas of innovation, we're strengthening media in the areas of investigative journalism, and we're strengthening media in the areas of developing thought leadership, in development, to make sure that democracy works for everyone, protect our human rights and our freedom of expression and information. Over the next 5 years, our goal is to be a foremost think and do tank that will lead the way in thought leadership for development, for policymakers across West Africa, for journalists, as well as communities that look up to us. We want to build a cohort of newsrooms and journalists across the continent that are known for innovation, sustainability, and accountability. And finally, we want to bring technology, the tools of technology to bear in revolutionizing what journalism looks like and reimagining what journalism looks like for the 21st century in Africa.
Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, CJID, as we are now called, started expanding its activities, its operations beyond Nigeria to other English-speaking West African countries in 2019 We started with Ghana, and now we are in Sierra Leone, we are in the Gambia and Liberia. In all of these countries, we have been contributing to democratic governance and media development. We've been doing this through advocacy, capacity building, and research.
What we are hoping to achieve in 2022, now that we are expecting CJID to be officially launched also in Sierra Leone, and we feel like the ultimate expectation is to see how best we can enrich the enterprise of journalism in Sierra Leone. Not only to enrich that enterprise, but to see how best we can also ensure that our professed values at CJID, which is our credibility, integrity, transparency, and accountability, are well inculcated not just into newsrooms, but also into our democratic engagement, our everyday democratic spaces.